Hello everybody, this is Di, anti-natalist, and it's something I wanted to bring up today, and it's something that I just was thinking really hard about one day, and I came up with a video that's related to the stresses we all endure in life. And so I'm going to talk about driving. And I'm just gonna, go around this parking lot and do the video. Most people take driving for granted. Some people get extremely anxious. Like a friend I had in Texas, she literally just freaked out every time she was behind the wheel, and she refrained from driving as much as she could. And anything made her uncomfortable, whether it was a missed turn or not knowing exactly where to go. So she needed a lot of help in that respect. Now, I'm a very comfortable person driving, but traffic can really get me, worked up, especially if I'm late somewhere, or, the typical things that make people worked up about driving. But what I dissected about the act of driving was that there are a lot of details about driving that we take for granted that includes a lot of stress. Now, as I go around the parking lot here, I am, looking both ways at traffic. I'm using my turn signal. I'm trying to avoid curbs. I'm watching for the stop signs that are ahead, watching for pedestrians, watching for people in front of me or on the side of me in my peripheral vision. Now, every day that anybody drives, you are taking on a number of stressful situations that you are not aware of. And I really wasn't aware of this. I wasn't conscious of just the amount of stresses that driving can cause. Now, if you get a ride from somebody, please generously give those friends and family members, a great financial payment for that help, because the act of driving is way more taxing other than your gas and your insurance money. Driving takes a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot of energy. You are constantly on guard. Like, even in this parking lot, which I've just described, the stop signs, the curbs, the pedestrians, the other drivers. And then when you park in a parking space, you have to do a decent job. I mean, you have to go between the lines, and you have to, pull up as close as you can, and you have to park. And then when you get out of your car, you have to, be careful when you open the door that there's not a car coming beside you or behind you. And then when you back up and you leave, you have to make sure that you're not going to hit another car, etc. So the other day, I was actually kind of bored. I was driving into another county that I usually don't go to, and I became hyper aware of each and every aspect that it took to drive my car. Now, I take it for granted. I've been driving since I was 16. I've been, licensed and, pretty decent driver. Never had any serious crash, just little, curb thingies, and don't think I've really hit anybody. But mostly, you don't see a curb, or, you back out and something was lower than your car and you hit it, that kind of thing. But I've taken for granted the amount of stress that just getting in the car and driving takes over on your whole body. Now, on a really bad, stressful day, like one like today maybe, where there's rain and, slower traffic, sometimes I have noticed my shoulders getting tense. Now, I'm not even going to go into that because that's like another level of stress. But I'm talking about just ordinary, sunny days, getting in your car, no other conflicts, no other crises in your life. There are so many things that we deal with as a driver and a license holder that impacts our lives negatively, and that you're probably not taking into consideration as part of your daily stress. And there's a lot of things in life that add up to stress. I mean, just making an appointment or getting all your chores done, grocery lines. But then the added stress that you're not even aware of driving. And most people, at least in America, they do have to drive because of distance and because of, you need a car to carry things around, whatnot. I really need a car because I have animals, and so I make frequent vet visits, and it's just essential. But I just try to dissect things in life, and I try to give certain things a different meaning, a higher level of meaning. And so next time you're in the car, just be aware of how many things that you're dealing with and things that you've taken for granted. Like you might get an incoming phone call, and you might be watching your GPS, and you might have one of those robocalls, sabotaging your concentration. And so there are just so many things to driving a car. And then cars get messy. Your Coke cup spills. It may spill all over your pants. It may spill all over some important paperwork. And then you have to worry about theft, so you lock your car, and you might lose your keys. Oh, that's happened to me before. Losing your keys is a really bad thing. I mean, that will really put you in a spin, really turn your life upside down. But we have to worry about keeping our keys. And then so today I just got this this is on the car. I just got this notification. It says replace your battery in your key. So the newer cars need batteries in the key thing. So wow. And then you got to get maintenance on your car. You got to get inspections. And then you have to worry about, speeding, or, am I in the right lane, or can I make a turn? Can I make a U-turn at this intersection? You have to worry about so many things. And, if the cop siren comes on, like, in the distance, you worry like, oh, what have I done? Like, am I at fault for something? Was I speeding? Did I do something wrong? Or, did I not have a registration up to date? You have to have a registration. So many things go into driving a car, and, it's just part of life. It's part of driving, but it's also part of stress. And so, I am never a proponent of life giving. I reject life. I reject anybody who wants to promote life by reproduction, and by microanalyzing and dissecting the parts of our lives that cause us so much stress on a daily basis. I think my point is very valid in that I would like to see a world that stops reproducing just for the sanity of its sentient beings, its sanity of its members, because most people are going to have to drive, which is a very, very responsible act, and it's necessary. And I mean, just like working or doing chores, or paying taxes and filling out those tax forms, there's so many things in life that we don't sign up for, but we are obligated to do just by being a part of this world. I mean, if you're going to live and eat and function, and live, you know, in a covered unit, a house or apartment, you have responsibilities. You have to pay bills. You have to, you know, get maintenance on your heater, your air conditioner, your plumbing. And so I'm telling you folks, even if you think that's not stressful, it is a huge component of your life that you don't choose to do. It's not a choice. It's not like you're going to go to a restaurant and sit down and, you know, have a good meal. That's a choice. And that's usually an enjoyment. But driving a car to get to one place to the next is not enjoyment. And the older you get, the more that this impacts your life. And, you know, I had to drive about 50 miles from my house to go out of the county to where I was going to the other day. And I was just thinking, how many miles have I driven in my whole life? Thousands and thousands of miles. My goodness, that's so much stress. That is so much boredom. And, you know, I don't really enjoy I don't mind going to the store. I don't mind getting gas. I don't mind short trips. But I really, really hate those long hauls over an hour. And there's been many of those in my life. There's probably been many of those in your life too. So, you know, unless you're one of those long distance truck drivers who really doesn't mind driving, I think most of us find it stressful because there's a certain amount of worry involved, because nobody wants to get into a wreck. Nobody wants to get a speeding ticket. Nobody wants to run over, you know, something in the road or a pothole and get a flat tire. Having a flat tire is like having no car at all. So, and everybody's been in these situations, you know, with the gas, the insurance, the tire problems, the maintenance, the registration, speeding tickets, traffic stops. My goodness. I just think driving is something that I'm going to try to limit in the future. And sadly, the things that I like to do include driving. So there's not much I can do to rid myself of, you know, this unforeseen stress. But it does calculate to a major impact in your life because you drive so much. I mean, even if you're driving back and forth to work at 20 minutes a day, those are 20 minutes that you really, really have to be on guard. You know, you can't let yourself go. You know, I mean, even if you do text and drive, you can't do it very safely. People are multitasking nowadays, and, you know, that puts us under like a different level of stress. Multitasking is stressful. And so the point of this video, I just want you to realize what you do on an ordinary basis. What do you do for a length of time every day? And that could be, you know, doing your laundry. It could be cleaning your house, or, you know, driving. But most of those things aren't something that we choose and something that we really enjoy doing. So if we don't enjoy doing something, pretty much adds up to stress, don't you think? I just got a new interpretation of driving the other day because I was so bored, and I thought, over the years of my life, over these 5 decades of driving, you know, it's just a pointless to you know, to realize that so many hours and miles have been spent just being behind the wheel. And a lot of those hours are stressful or boring. So, you know, if we could actually chisel away all of the negatives and all the stresses and the chores of our life, really there wouldn't be much left. There wouldn't be much happiness to, you know, extract from life. So anyway, thanks for watching, and any thoughts are always welcome below.